All right, that was it. Game Awards done. That was
Another year.
fun. So the last
Packed.
episode, yeah, it was packed. It was absolutely packed. And the joke I was about to make, I made last week was that what if it went to 8 o'clock and I could spend some time watching a little bit of it because I was gonna come off of work and be late. And sure enough, it went to 8 o'clock my time, Pacific. Good Lord. That was a 3-hour show?
That was
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous,
3.5.
to be honest with you.
Good Lord. I really didn't think it would go that long, but it did.
was a saga.
3 hours. 3 hours long.
Dear. Yeah. So, okay. Well, let's...
And that's not counting. That's not counting the 30-minute pre-show, because there was also a 30-minute pre-show.
Well, yeah, if it's a 3-hour show, then I guess it started at 4:30. That was the pre-show. What was going on in the pre-show?
Just a couple of obviously, that's where the smaller announcements go. Like that's where they announced all of the awards for the esports, because they know nobody's actually coming to
Just
watch
kinda-
those awards. Just
They
being
skimmed
honest,
through those, yeah. They had some
Yeah.
good reveals and stuff. So
Yeah, they had some really nice things, but yeah, it was definitely the more tame area of the TGAs.
Oh, we'll get to those then.
We will.
Yeah, at least many of the reveals, but we won't talk about all of the awards and nominations, just like the Game Awards does. So,
You're not wrong. There was a lot of just straight up read off like the list, and it was kind of sad.
speed running, even
Yeah.
with it being 3 hours long.
I saw a thread from SkillUp, because I'm on Threads. I don't do Twitter anymore. From SkillUp, really angry that the best independent game was kind of sped run. I don't know. I'm not that upset about it, I guess. Like,
I
But,
get it.
I mean,
it's
it's
just
like-
there's some things that are really sad that they don't get their due, if that makes sense.
no, I agree.
Well, we just previously kind of mentioned off stream, like there are so many nominations and so many categories now. It's just like you have to, and also there's so many premieres and guest appearances and stuff. And if you have, you have to make room in case a Christopher Judge incident occurs. Some stuff has to get cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Which,
just-
yeah.
I feel like the awards, the Game Awards, has been on for 10 years now. If you don't know what this award show is doing at this point, I don't know what to tell you. Like this,
It's a mini E3. It really is at
Yeah.
this point.
It is.
I look forward to it like an E3 because it's half Game Awards for me. It's half Game Awards, but then the other half is all of the really cool updates and reveals and stuff that we get. It
I
definitely
agree.
has the hype for me.
And I don't like, it's nice to see the people's emotions and expressions and the joy, but I don't need to see everybody's. I mean, I saw a thread from the Sea of Stars developers. Very thankful. I'm glad you guys are happy. I don't need a speech from you guys. I'm just happy you guys got the award.
Mhm.
That's what I'm happy about.
Yeah.
So I get it, but especially with the best independent award, that's kind of one of those if you know kind of awards,
Yep.
the Baldur's Gate 3, the FIFA people, they ain't playing Sea of Stars, It's
Yeah.
just the reality
Like,
of the
I get that.
situation.
I get that sentiment because you want the winner of that game to get more exposure by bringing them on
sure.
stage. I
Yes.
totally get that, but at the same time, like you have to realize it's kind of there's bigger fish to fry.
Yep.
And like some stuff, unfortunately, I see why it gets not delegated to just skimming through, but I see why they can't bring them on stage.
And I understand why it feels bad because you're kind of relegated to how we treat esports, right? Nobody cares
Yeah.
about that. So like everybody who's in like the speed run categories, that's kind of like you're not important, but it's like No, it's
It's not that you're,
it's just
not
time.
important. It's just like if we did that, we're looking at a 6-hour show. Like that's just
Right.
you can't. And I don't
You
know
complained about
if
ads now.
yeah they haven't. I'm sure they're trying to figure out a way to make it feel better represented when they have to kind of speed run. I just don't know if there's a good solution that gives the representation, but also is fast.
Well,
And
here's the
kind of
thing.
gets the show.
Every major award shows does it. The Grammys does it. The Oscars do this. Like they all do it because there are so many categories. So it's not like this is a Game Awards exclusive, video game industry exclusive issue.
Yeah.
All the award shows do this. Sometimes they don't even mention it. You just got to go find it on the website or something. So
Or it'll
at the
play
very
like
least-
during the ad, like, hey,
Yeah.
at the bottom. It's so
yeah, there's like no vocalization to it at all. So I'm not saying it still doesn't feel bad, but I am saying Jeff Keighley's seems like he's doing the best with what he's able to do with the money that he's got.
And David and I have talked, numerous times that he is actively implementing feedback that he's received. It's not that he's being
People-
stubborn. Or,
Yeah. Well, people forget
he's
feedback. People forget that feedback when it's implemented doesn't always turn out exactly the way you want it to.
Right.
yeah.
Because you think, oh, I said this. This is what he's doing. Okay, it's going to work out how I think. It's not how life works.
No.
Things work. Things
And-
don't. Things get changed next year. We know that because things have changed this year from what it was last year. So,
And also, we have to think too, because they've had those where, it's kind of like the side awards, and they'll have somebody briefly come up. I mean, the Sea of Stars people, they could have got invited out and just couldn't make it, and
Yep.
so they're like, hey, we'll just skim through. There's a lot of
That's true.
factors that we don't know. Just
we
playing
had
devil's
one of the
advocate.
awards. One of the awards actually was somebody who came up and accepted it on behalf of somebody else.
So, yeah, but also, like, what do you sub out if you put in it best indie, and
Yeah.
give that a, on the main stage. So it's,
Yep.
I definitely get it though.
Yeah, I imagine some people would be like, "Oh, well, the best adaptation should promotion."
Yep,
that-
that is
that
Where
was
your money
promotion.
is, that is where your money is. Yep.
Yeah, it's a giant spectacle. This is what the Game Awards is at this point. There's really nothing
It's-
like you either at this point it is you either accept it for what it is, or you just and enjoy it, or you don't pay attention to it anymore.
Again, people forget that for instance, the Fallout, Amazon, all that, like they didn't show up out of the kindness of their heart to show something. Jeff didn't go beg them to show off the Fallout trailer or anything. They paid for that spot to be there. So
Yep.
you've got to tie that into something that makes sense award wise if you're going to have them on there.
Yeah, I would
presenting,
imagine,
which
yeah.
is what happened.
yeah.
But yeah, people pay a lot of money to be on Jeff's show because of the viewership he gets. So you got to make it make sense along with the awards.
It is a business.
Yep. It's nobody's doing this out of the kindness of their hearts.
Yeah, it's the cold reality, and not to say Jeff isn't trying to
Oh yeah.
listen and do, but yes, there are considerations and hard decisions that have to be made, and unfortunately, in this case, the Game Awards is a showcase and an award show. It's
Yep.
just
Yep.
and I get that throws people off because it's called the Game Awards. It's not like called some reveal event with awards, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I understand the sentiment, but there are other award shows. You got the People's Choice Award. You have the Game Developers Choice Award. You got BAFTAs. You have all kinds of awards. If this isn't floating your boat, watch those. Like in addition to or in replace of the Game Awards. This one I guess is probably the biggest, most viewed one. So
I
people want
definitely
it.
think so.
Yeah, people want it to represent all the major, pieces of the industry. I would say indies are a very important piece of the industry. I get it, but it can't be this big
It already felt long. It
I
would
know.
have been even way longer if he wouldn't have rattled through some of them. And again,
Yeah.
we talk about you can cut down certain other things, but you're either cutting out the reveals, which is most of the reason why people are there, or you're cutting out ads of the people who pay for it.
Very
So,
true.
balance.
Balance in all things. With that said, let's talk about these nominations and awards. We made predictions last week, so let's get into what we voted for and what it came out to actually be, and see who got some stuff right. Let's start with most anticipated. You're going to see some of my votes too on these. This is just what we got, but most anticipated. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth won, and we all chose Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So we read that correctly. I wanted Hades 2 to personally win, but in terms of what the people would choose, it's going to be Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Yep.
Any comments on that?
I already said it last week, but press had hands-on with that game compared to Hades 2. I think those two were the clear front runners, and when you have hands-on with something, it's a lot easier to be more excited about it.
And it probably still wasn't even close. Like Rebirth was probably heads over Hades.
Heads
2.
over ever. It was probably honestly. It may have swept. Like, just being honest. I don't mean to be mean to anything else. I just could see it sweeping.
Yeah, there's.
It may have been the closest. It may have been the closest here.
I think
like
there's over
this may have been
panel judges. So
just saying, it may have been the closest to a sweep out of the entire Game Awards, because I feel like almost everything else was clear winners.
Yeah.
Almost. Like, it was at least competitive between everything else.
Like we kind of talked in our preds, like my heart says Hades, but my brain says Rebirth.
Yeah.
I was Rebirth on both sides, so
yeah. Best adaptation went to The Last of Us. We had a debate about this one, and the debate was how do you view adaptation? And it seems like the judges viewed adaptation as basically direct translation of game to TV show with some notable additions to flesh out the game as well. So well deserved still.
Just Last of Us felt like it was more impactful, especially for press and
it won how many Emmys, how many awards. So kind of makes sense.
Just add another one to it.
Yeah.
Best
Mario is crying into their piles of money.
yeah. Nintendo is not really tripping. Best multiplayer Baldur's Gate 3. I don't, I haven't played.
None
Baldur's
of us voted
Gate 3.
for that one, did we?
No, we did not.
No, I didn't.
David, you said Diablo 4. Noah and I said Street Fighter 6.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. I get you can kind of do tabletop online, basically, with other people. I just didn't think it would be that intense, but okay. Props to Baldur's Gate. Best sports and racing. We did Noah and David. You chose Forza Motorsport. I went with F123 just to be different. And I thought the European base would, come out for F123, honestly. But I think Forza's familiarity with judges probably won out, even though a lot of them probably haven't played it. So, all right. Best sim and strategy. This one, we all said Pikmin 4.
Yeah.
And Pikmin 4 won. I said it.
I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah. I hadn't played Pikmin 4. I played Fire Emblem Engage. So that's why I voted for that. But figured the judges would vote for Pikmin 4. Best family. I chose Super Mario Wonder. We all chose Mario Wonder, and Mario Wonder won.
I wanted Illusion Island. I just figured that would be the Mario's gimme.
Yeah. Same. Best fighting. We all voted for Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
Another clear winner category. I feel like
this one probably. Well, no, I'm sure Mortal Kombat 1 got a lot of votes.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably got a couple.
Yeah. Best RPG.
That was a clear.
Personally, I chose
Yeah,
Sea of Stars.
clear.
But yeah, you actually, David, convinced me to vote for Baldur's Gate 3
Yep.
with your description of it. So we all did that. Best action adventure. Noah and I said no. Actually, Noah and David said Tears of the Kingdom. I said Resident Evil 4 because I was trying to be different again. Because I was like, Resident Evil 4 is good.
What did I say? I knew this would be the gimme. I actually said this is their gimme for Tears of the Kingdom.
I
For the
thought
pity vote.
Tears of the Kingdom actually still had a chance to win Game of the Year.
We all thought it did until it
Did we do
didn't.
Best action game. I think we should look at best action. Do we? Yes,
Best
we did.
action.
Armored Core.
Yeah.
Armored Core. None of
What's-
us voted. We said Hi-Fi Rush. Me and David, and Noah said Remnant 2.
Remnant 2.
I actually, what's funny though is I did say though I would not be surprised if Armored Core won. Did I
You
not?
did say that. You did, because the From Software fan base is half the
From
judges.
gets their represent. Yeah.
Like 75%.
If not more.
Of the judges.
Yeah, no joke.
Yes. If From Software made it, it's going to win. Yeah, I haven't played it. I want to play it though, but I'm a little shocked by this one, to be honest. Best VR and AR, we all chose Horizon, and Resident Evil Village VR mode won.
It's because all of these people are horny at the judges panel. Between that and Baldur's Gate.
That's our commentary. All right, best.
More or less.
Oh, we didn't do best mobile game. Let me skip
I-
that
We
one.
didn't vote for
Yeah,
mobile.
Honkai Star Rail one, but best
Not
debut
surprising.
indie
Yep.
game. I chose Viewfinder. Noah chose Dredge. David chose Cocoon. David is.
Yeah, look at you.
I've got that I've got that scoop on the industry, man. Somehow. I don't know how.
I do too, but I'm just trying to be different.
Yeah.
Like
Some
maybe-
people
maybe-
need to know, what it's like to win. So we're
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
intentionally.
It was
Yeah.
honestly that was one of those categories that felt a little more contested, just a little bit. So, but I saw.
I would
good stuff
agree.
on
Yeah.
Cocoon, so.
Best independent game went to Sea of Stars. We all chose Sea of Stars.
It was just so good.
Best community support. David chose Baldur's Gate 3. Actually, we all chose Baldur's Gate 3.
Noah
And-
really wanted Cyberpunk, but he said he knew Baldur. He was like,
I
"No,
knew.
it's Baldur's."
I knew. Sometimes you gotta listen to your brain.
Sometimes you do. Best
Ongoing is interesting. Yeah.
Ongoing.
No. Rightfully deserved is the words you're looking for, not interesting. Okay.
Noah chose Cyberpunk 2077. David and I chose Fortnite. I am shocked it's not Fortnite, to be quite
Yeah.
honest. I am.
Hey, that's what
absolutely
that's
shocked.
that's some most people that lose think that.
What's probably most funny
No,
is
no.
Fortnite has never won Best Ongoing, and it's been nominated multiple times at the Game Awards. It's never
And that's
won.
what I'm saying.
Which
Fortnite
is
never
weird.
gets its flowers. It's
Yep.
It's
Cyberpunk
insane.
2077, which is not a
It was
ongoing
announced
game.
at the Game Awards. It was like, like it's just hilarious.
Those results speak differently.
Yeah.
This
No,
is my
people
one
just
award.
really like
This
the
is my
update.
one time to shine. I gotta bask in the glory, and then we'll move on to Baldur's Gate
This
for everything
is the
else.
only category where I will say Fortnite, like, this game should not have won and this game should have won. This is the only one that I will say that, because Fortnite does not get its flowers. I mean, good God. What was
Like,
the
how much
number?
they gotta do? How much they gotta do? Yeah, it's like over 100 million or something. Something
100
stupid.
million people.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
played a re-release of season 1. Like,
See, for me, I feel like Fortnite will not get any award until they do like a lifetime achievement award, and then they will finally. They're like Leo in the Oscars, like he
What-
doesn't get one forever.
it's gonna get a post-mortem award where it's
Yeah.
like it's finally dead and nobody's playing it 40 years from now, and then it's gonna be like Fortnite, one of like the most impactful video games of our lifetime award. You
Yep.
know, half of the Epic developers that worked on it don't even work there anymore.
It's now called Awesome instead of Epic.
Epic is no longer Epic because it's awesome. All right,
Not gonna be
games.
called subpar.
Games for Impact. David chose a space. Actually, we all chose a Space for the Unbound based
That's a
on my
surprising one.
recommendation. But Chia
Yeah.
won.
Yeah,
I'm
good
not
on
mad at
Chia.
it.
No,
Good for Chia.
Props. Yeah.
I think this is partially because it just had more eyes on it.
I was just about to say, a Space for the
Yep.
Unbound didn't
So we're
have a
both
lot of
thinking
eyes
the-
on it.
Yeah, we're both
Yeah.
thinking the same thing there.
Yeah. Which is not what I was thinking because I was like, if it's on there, these people must know about this game, like who critique games and all that stuff. Like they must know about this. So it's on there for that reason. But yeah, in terms of like total eyeballs, yeah, Chia was probably, and then like smaller mid-size outlets, they're like, Space, what is that? So
I just picture like the people doing the voting and stuff. Like, did you guys play a Space? Nope, nobody. Oh, okay, we'll just do Chia then, since that's the
Oh,
one
it
we all
absolutely
Check
is
the
like
box
that.
of the thing I recognize.
it absolutely is that. It is 100% that. What was the next one? Innovation in accessibility. I chose
This was
Street
a
Fighter
surprise.
6. You two
Mhm.
chose Spider-Man 2. Forza won.
And
I did not.
It always does well. It's just surprising.
Yeah. Good on that. Good on that. What do we got? Best performance.
I
I'm
don't think
curious
any
about
of
this
us
one.
got this right.
David, you
No.
chose Ben Starr, and Noah and I chose Cameron Neil Newbon for Baldur's Gate. I did not expect that.
Yep,
I-
But
I
it's-
didn't
it's
either. I
Baldur's
didn't either.
Gate 3.
And I'm not
All
saying
right.
he didn't do a fantastic job because I've heard he's done a fantastic job. It's just some of
Oh,
these
yeah,
other
he's
people
great.
just have such gravitas in the scene. It's like,
I mean, honestly, like we talked about it a little bit, but this was a stacked
oh
category.
yeah,
Like any of these could have won, and we'd be like, I get it, you know.
Yep.
But this was the year for Baldur's Gate. It feels like so.
Certainly was. Best audio design. David and Noah chose Alan Wake 2. I chose Dead Space and
somehow it went to
Hi-Fi Rush, which
man.
is actually what my heart chose. But
Yep.
yeah, crazy. Good
That
for
was a-
Hi-Fi Rush.
oh,
I think
yeah, I was real
people
happy
wanted to
that they got
recognize Hi-Fi Rush in some
Give
capacity.
him one, yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Um,
kind of interesting that this is the one, though. You know, like this is.
What
the,
else do you
what
give it
got.
though? Like
I would
mean,
have
it is a
expected art
rhythm-based
direction.
game. Over Alan Wake 2?
Like it just, I didn't say that I personally chose it over that. I'm just
I
saying
know.
that
I'm just saying.
I could have
See-
seen that being the award it got with. Funny enough, I would have swapped the awards. That Alan Wake got sound design, but art direction went to Hi-Fi Rush. Like
It sure did. Where's the rest of my award paper? Hold on.
He can't find page 2. Oh no, we're in trouble.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, is that it?
Oh,
Nope, that's not it. Oh, maybe that's
oh no,
as the chair just explodes, we just hear crashes and tumbles down.
Hold up. I gotta look for it. Oh, there it is. Found it. All right. Best score and music. Now, this one was interesting. We had a lot of debate on this
Yeah,
one. Tears of
very.
the Kingdom, Alan Wake 2, and Tears of the Kingdom. But what actually won was
and I even said I wouldn't be surprised.
Final Fantasy. No, okay, you did say that, but that was a couch statement. You were like 100% sold on Alan Wake 2.
Oh yeah.
And there was no
Again,
way.
though, I actually
You-
said that. Here's what I actually said. I said if it's just based on just pure like behind the scenes soundtrack and is not including the chapter songs and Poets of the Fall, the old Gods of Asgard stuff, then like Final Fantasy, I could see.
But you don't know what it was based
I don't
off
know
of.
what it. I don't know what it was
But we
based
can
off of.
I'm
assume
So I
assuming
it
still
was
was
choose
based
Alan
on
Wake.
everything.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just saying I wouldn't be. I'm just saying that as I said, I would not be surprised at all if it won because that is a phenomenal soundtrack.
Yes, and I said, despite Alan
Nards
Wake
to
2
you, David. That's what
and
I heard.
all that, I was like, despite every accolade you were giving Alan Wake 2 with the orchestral stuff, I was like, Final Fantasy 16 still holds a cake and a candle to that. So
Find Your Flame. Such a good song. I don't know if you've listened to it, but you gotta listen to that.
Best art direction, David, you chose Alan Wake 2. I chose Hi-Fi Rush. Noah, you chose Tears of the Kingdom. And oh, there he goes. He's already showing off. Alan Wake 2 won that.
My boy.
You
Everybody
were so
got to watch
close.
me in the Discord chat, like going like this and going, yeah, every time it won.
It was just
Also,
the
shout out
audible
to
groans
shout
from
out
all of
to
us.
shout out to Thomas Puha, the community guy over at Remedy. He actually liked one of my tweets where I was yelling about Alan Wake winning something, and he was there, so it felt even more special.
Best narrative, Alan Wake 2, David chose. I chose Baldur's Gate 3. Noah chose Baldur's Gate 3, even though his heart wanted to say Cyberpunk 2077. That wasn't even it was on the list, yeah, right there. But Alan Wake 2 won.
Alan Wake 2, and it's well deserved. I kept holding up the sign,
Some might
guys. I
say.
kept holding up the sign. It was
We knew this was either
Best.
going to be a David Happy podcast or a David Sad podcast, and it's
Hey,
it's
this
a
is the
happy
happiest
podcast.
I've been about the TGAs in a while, I think. Because I've always liked these games that end up getting smoked by something else that I'm just
That is
not
true.
into.
I think that happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Most of my game of the years end up being some really great indie game. So
Yep.
But best game direction, Noah and I chose Tears of the Kingdom. David chose Alan Wake 2. I didn't see this one, so this one's going to be a surprise for me. It was Alan Wake 2. Okay, all right. Wait, did I see this one?
You did, but we were probably talking.
Yeah.
We were probably yapping.
Oh, you know what? I was also
so-
watching the Laker game. That's what was going on.
Oh, I
too.
gotcha. He wanted to be let down twice.
Yeah. Game of the year. Noah and I chose Tears. David chose Baldur's Gate 3. We were just holding out hope. Not hope in the sense of that.
Rebellions are built
I
on
was
hope.
I was a realist on this one, boys.
You were,
That's all I'm
you
gonna
were.
say.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Well,
That's
look,
that's
look,
fine.
wait, time out. I mean, yes, you were real, but if we look at the sentiment of Open Critic,
Yeah, they're
Let's
both
see, where-
exactly
where-
the same. They're tied. Actually,
Baldur's Gate
Baldur's
3
Gate's
and Tears of the Kingdom both got a 96. And 99% critic recommendation. And Tears of the Kingdom got 97. So like a 2% difference, which is hardly negligible. Out of Tears of the Kingdom was out of 153 people who reviewed it. And Baldur's Gate 3 was 139. So not too big of a difference, but you can see why somebody might choose Tears of the Kingdom as their game of the year.
I get it. I think what ended up happening, I think Tears may have even been second on a lot of people. I think
Oh, I guarantee
Tears.
it was.
I think Tears got hurt by Alan Wake 2. I really do. Like, I think that it may have flipped them
Here's the
between
funny
second and
thing.
third. I'm
What-
just saying, I think
No,
it
I
flipped
agree.
people between second and third, which made Baldur's Gate's ones across the board make it an easier get. And
Here's the
I
weird
think that
thing.
Baldur's Gate did something different than Tears of the Kingdom. As great as it is, there is reused assets, and it is what we have played before. And I don't mean that in a bad thing, because
I
I
agree,
think they did
yeah.
a phenomenal job. They reinvented what we were doing, and again, this is coming from somebody who did not like Breath of the
Same.
Wild. I like this,
Yeah, same.
but like I just think that was enough to where people looked at Baldur's Gate and were like, this is just what they did is so different.
But look at
It-
it's
Yeah.
still scored lower. So it's like I get the critic sentiment was there. Like I could tell like people were really wowed by Alan Wake 2,
Yep.
but not that wowed.
I think it's
Right?
I think it's also the panel though, because you probably had a lot of the higher end scores were on that panel most likely. That's
That's
what
fair.
I'm thinking. That's where I came from with a lot of my Alan Wake 2 argument was just the fact that I
you
think a
guys are
lot of the people who love
you
it.
guys are overthinking this. The reason it won is because alphabetically it comes before Zelda.
It's the first game everybody saw.
Yeah, they're like, okay. Like when you go a 50-50
Wait, we're not
split, you go
listing
with
these
what's-
alphabetical? What are you talking about?
We've been thinking about it the wrong way the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so
But I was actually
It's also
impressed
left to
because I did
type
feel like
out,
it was
you know?
I feel like it
So-
was a pretty good spread this year. Like
Oh,
as
yeah.
packed as the year was, you still didn't have the like honestly, a lot of us looked as like, oh, Tears and Baldur's Gate running away with everything. Baldur's Gate did run away with a lot. It got 6 awards, but at the same point, it didn't feel like it dominated the spotlight, I guess is the
because it wasn't in
Well,
every category.
yeah.
Like
Well,
some
also-
It still
previous-
helped.
Yeah.
It felt like the year of hold up because I feel like a lot of people thought what I did. I thought Zelda was going to run away with everything, and then Baldur's Gate came out. I was like, hold up, and then we thought it was going to be between Zelda and Baldur's Gate, and then Alan Wake 2 came out. And was like, hold up, So
This whole
I feel
year
like
has been a
it's been-
hold up. Like
Hold up.
every
Like-
single week, it feels like we've had a hold up because it's been
And-
like, wait a second, this game.
Well, that's
And it's
why
not like-
no singular game could dominate because there were too
Yep.
many good games.
And it's
Such
not
a-
like,
so many good games.
you know, those three were so far ahead of, you know, everything else that got nommed. Everything was upper echelon of quality, you know. So, yeah, it's been an insane year.
I think it's also the fact of just this year, like we've talked about how good it is. I think that's part of why we're not so upset because we
Oh, no.
know it's just such a good year all the way around. It's like, how can I be upset about this game not winning or this game not winning when so many good games are out there? Like,
Right.
We've
Yep.
had to deal with
And you can play
we've
them
had to deal
all.
with 2022s where it was like, okay, Elden Ring God of War. That's pretty much that's
Yep.
the choices,
Yeah,
guys.
Like, like BG3 could have been nominated and won every category, and I would have been like, I get it.
Yep.
You know, like I would have understood.
Yep.
Um,
That's why I was thrilled Alan Wake walked away with like 3. Like I wasn't even sure we'd get more than 1.
yeah. Hey, I'm thrilled. Phantom Liberty got 1, and that's all I care about. Like, I'm a happy lad.
The games I really did care about did get something. So I'm okay. But besides the awards themselves, which the amount of time that we spent on the awards is just about the same amount Jeff Keighley has spent on the awards, percentage wise. So
And we've spent about as much time as Christopher Judge's speech.
yeah.
Which
So
Anthony, did you hear about him opening the show? Did David
no,
tell you?
I need to find this.
I'll let
Let me
because
find
David
it.
is the yeah. If you want to play the clip, I'm sure it's gone
Yeah.
viral. Unless Activision's already locked him up in a warehouse somewhere. Like, the
what was his name again? Sorry.
Christopher Judge.
Yeah, Christopher Judge. It just left me. Christopher Judge.
his middle name's Kratos,
Single-
if that helps.
Christopher
God.
Kratos Judge.
Christopher Kratos.
Oh,
I
it's 5 minutes. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, I'll
trust
play
me, it's
this
not.
1 minute quick. Yeah, here's a 1 minute clip. I'm gonna
that
download
way
it. Hold up.
viewers can see it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
but go ahead, keep talking.
but well, the biggest thing, like David and I were both kind of like, did he just say that? Like that feels like an unscripted moment, and you could see the audience was like, did he just say that?
Oh, can't wait
I'll
to
kind of
hear it.
preview that. Yeah, it was.
Okay, well, besides that, while I cue it up, what else happened?
Kojima
Oh, wait,
came
wait,
out
sorry.
and did his things.
We do have a
Oh my God.
list here in the
Of
Discord,
everything
so we can-
announced, yeah.
Well, yeah,
that we'll
not
go
just everything announced, but
But-
so I always comment on the music for the Game Award nomination. It's fantastic once again.
So,
every
they had
year.
they
Lauren
had
Baloff.
3 different performances this year too. You missed out. You'll have to go back. They had I forget the name of them, Hail Lung or something like that, but they did Hellblade.
Mhm.
They actually did a Hellblade performance, which was
Interesting.
awesome.
They toasted
Sounded great.
marshmallows. It was really cool.
of course, as you've talked about, the Game Awards Orchestra is phenomenal. It's just,
So good.
but stealing the show, Alan Wake 2, they performed the song live.
Before you get to Alan Wake 2, Rebirth had a phenomenal performance.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
that was their 2. So there were 4.
Yeah.
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. I was like,
Okay, I found
hold up.
the Christopher
Hold up.
Judge clip.
Hold up.
Okay, so
The reason why I brought up
set
is
me
it,
up again.
it kicked off the show.
Yeah.
Oh, it kicked off the show.
You're good. Yeah.
Or not,
Okay.
it was towards the beginning.
It was right at the beginning of it. Yeah.
It was
All right.
during best performance, I believe.
All right, I'm gonna play it. Here we go.
It is such a pleasure to be back here. I have such great memories of last year. Mr. Pacino, forgetting to thank my wife.
They're already playing him off.
We're already playing the music, so he's not.
Oh, I didn't know there was commentary from the YouTuber.
It'll be okay.
All right.
What
I
kind of
get
laugh
it.
is that?
I get it. I'm not gonna stand up here making long speeches. I'm gonna stick to the script. No 8-minute speech like last year. But fun fact, my speech was actually longer than this year's Call of Duty campaign.
we were like, what? that was the reaction.
Oh, so good.
Did that really happen?
Somebody should have put the camera on Vince Zampella. That would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been.
Oh, that was a zinger. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
That was the.
Christopher
Did
Judge
he
came
really
ready
just
with that
say-
one.
Oh yeah, he said, "Keely, you're not gonna let me talk for 8 minutes. Guess what?
Shame the
seconds.
Yeah,
board.
Reese dropped some
Yeah.
jokes on the way out.
Yep.
All right. David, take us away on what was shown because I didn't show up until the last hour and a half, which is more
Alrighty.
than what I anticipated. But
And we're gonna go through a lot of this decently quickly because you've got everybody has different games they like, obviously, but there are highlights for some and there's highlights for others.
yeah, yeah.
We had
That's not what we like on this podcast. Yes.
we had Simu Lee
Cyberpunk.
came out and showed off StarCraft like Stormgate gameplay trailer. So that was neat. Asgard's Wrath's coming to the MetaQuest on December 15th, I think is what they showed. So it's that's pretty quick. That's something that was really neat. Is that we've had a lot of games that are getting pretty immediate content.
Okay.
So, GTFO is getting a final update. That was in a trailer. I think that's some sort of heist game, if I'm remembering right. Honkai Star Rail, you knew it was going to get some form of trailer here because the Genshin Impact people very regularly have stuff here.
Wait, is that the game made by the Genshin Impact developers?
The
Oh, I had no idea.
the Hoyoverse.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like their version of like a turn-based.
I had no idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe
we
I knew that
had-
and forgot. I don't know.
Cool thing is a game that Anthony and I were a part of the preview process is coming out of early access. Ready
Cool.
or Not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's
a good.
actually-
That's a good game.
So we're gonna have to go back to that and mess
Yeah.
around with that sometime because
Oh, yeah.
it's out of early access on December 13th. Again, another pretty quick turnaround on some of the stuff we saw. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League actually showed up and wasn't a lot there. Like it was just it felt like it was. It's one of those fun things where a lot of the stuff we're seeing is just it feels like it's stuff we've seen because it's a game
Just
that's been
shuffled
in
around.
development for a long time.
But is all this stuff in the
game that's been
pre-show
there.
right now that you're talking
no,
about?
No, this is
Oh.
actually flipping around. This is actually just talking about a lot of the different stuff we saw.
Interesting.
This doesn't
Who's
even have a
getting that money?
trailer right here. The Matchless Kung Fu reveal trailer. I
What's that?
don't even remember that. And
Okay.
there's no
I don't
trailer here
either.
for me to see, so I don't know. If you remember Akumi Nakamura, she was
Okay.
during Evil Within 2, she was the really
Energetic.
energetic. Yes, that's the word.
Charismatic.
Energetic, charismatic.
Charismatic. That's a great word. Yep.
Japanese.
That's my word of the day,
girl
actually. It's on my little calendar.
She, I believe, introduced either Tokyo Ghostwire or Evil Within 2 is what I remember her from during E3 back in the day, and she finally has shown off the first thing from her studio called Kimuri, from the studio Unseen, and we kind of just saw a quick gameplay show off of it, but it kind of reminded Noah of kind of like some sort of hero shooter, kind of Overwatchy kind of style looking thing, but it has a little more Japanese culture to it. So
and it's like purely independent. Like Jeff said, there's no publisher attached yet, so purely independent.
Okay.
One that we were like, hold up, what the heck is this?
Hold up.
Game called Big Walk, coming from the people who did Untitled Goose Game. I don't know what it is.
Like
it is so
thumbnail.
weird.
It
looks so weird.
Okay.
Like,
you need to watch some of these
looks
trailers
interesting, but it's weird.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm very excited. This is one of the announcements I'm very excited from out of the show. There's an team of ex-BioWare developers that formed a development studio called Archetype Entertainment. And to introduce it, they said that they were going to have out someone who was I guess an Academy Award nominee and had written a New York Times bestseller. Then it was Matthew McConaughey, and I was like, I didn't know those two things were in his repertoire. New Academy Award winner, but not an award best-selling book.
Yeah.
But he came out. He's actually a part of this game. Don't know. I don't believe he was shown in the trailer, but they had some gameplay. They had a really cool.
Did you mention the name of the game? I don't think you did.
Exodus. Exodus. Okay. They showed off the start of the game, or like a CG trailer, and then they showed some pre-alpha footage, and it looks really, really cool. Like when you watch it, you're like, this has those Mass Effect feels to it, but the world building looks like could be something very special. Like I liked the look of the enemies, the sci-fi nature that they have with the game. It just looks really cool.
Nice. Okay.
The time element can be really interesting too.
Well, he said that it's like this in this trailer. You have this guy who's defending the girl from these celestials, these beings that are attacking them, and they're getting away with something. I don't know what MacGuffin it is, but to save her, he goes off in a different direction and shoots through this, like, I guess, I don't know what you'd call it. Like it makes me think of the things in Mass Effect that shoot you across the galaxy.
The relays.
Okay. Yeah, the relays. But this one, like, it makes it where he can get somewhere almost immediately, but it takes him minutes where it takes a lifetime in real time. So it's kind of that interstellar kind of idea, which is immediately what we thought given the whole McConaughey deal. But it was like, it sounds really cool. It's one of those where I will be very much keeping my eyes on that game. Arknights Infield is coming to PlayStation 5, another Weeb game that I'm sure people will go crazy over.
Did you go crazy over it, Noah?
It's a Weeb game, sir.
Of course he did.
Of course I did. That was the one that kind of.
I don't know if you have a distinction between Weeb games. Maybe there's not
like
as Weeb games.
Yeah, it had like some Nier vibes, which really had me excited.
Okay.
So that'll really. A lot of people, I think, will be looking forward to that one.
Okay.
Sequel, I never thought we would ever get. Not that I wasn't ever thinking of it. World of Goo 2.
That's a classic.
I remember that just for the classic, I remember it just because it's that was the iPhone game that felt like everybody picked up because it was a neat little puzzle game.
Did that start as an iPhone game? I thought it was on PC, and then it went to mobile.
I thought it was a mobile game first, but maybe I'm misremembering.
I could be wrong. Crazy, it's getting a sequel though. A lot of years later.
Really neat music game that was in VR.
Another one.
Thumper. They're bringing out Thrasher is the name of their next idea. So, keep them with the T sounds.
Yeah, what's next? Now I'm curious about the next game.
This one kind of got us all when we were watching it, like, because we at first you see this really cartoony, cutesy looking thing,
Okay.
and it's coming from Motion Twin, the guys who did Dead Cells. It's called
Okay.
Windblown.
I love
They're
that.
they're walking around and stuff. They get these weapons. It's this cartoon, just looks really pretty. Like it looks like an animated like show almost with what they're showing at first before they get into gameplay. And all of a sudden, in the middle of it, one of these characters gets absolutely ripped in half, bloody, like cut up, and it's like, huh?
Red splatter and everything.
I was like, there's some invincible crap going on right here. Like,
Oh my goodness.
like it was like a lot more heavy duty than I thought, but it's a lightning fast combat roguelike or roguelite. So it's
okay.
called Windblown. It's got co-op. Sounds really neat. It's got these anime kind of cutscenes and stuff. It looks really cool. And you already know that the gameplay is going to be top tier if the Dead Cells guys are doing it. Like it's going to play
crisp.
smooth. And it
I
looked
hope
smooth
so.
and crisp in the gameplay that we saw. So
Nice.
yeah, that one was really good.
That one's one that
Uh,
I'm gonna keep an eye out on because I
Yes.
loved Dead Cells.
Yeah.
One that was
same.
really neat because it's different and it's coming to Game Pass. It's one called Harmonium. It's the musical is what it's called.
Wait,
it's
a musical
actually-
video game.
So it is a
mean-
a musical platformer is the way that it is. It
I
is
said that
actually, and
A
I'm
musical video game. What?
I want to make sure I do this justice because of how different it is. This will probably be up if it comes out next year. It's probably going to be up for Games for Impact, but it's a girl who either doesn't have her hearing, is deaf, or is needing some form of ear, like something to do.
Aid.
She's using some form of aid, but she was doing sign language the whole time, and it sounds like she's somebody who wants to be musical, but as someone who is a musical person, I can't imagine the thought of how in the world do you make music without ever having heard what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So it's kind of almost a Pixar-esque looking game, but it's like I said, a musical platformer. It's one that I'm really looking forward to messing around with, just from a very interesting angle that they're
I'm curious to know
Yeah.
like what the story is as a platformer.
yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, it has my attention. I'm in.
Something else that will have your attention, and I believe Noah's attention, it was being revealed as Noah was having issues getting into our Discord.
Don't even get me started. Ooh.
Daniel Mullins,
Ooh.
the man behind Inscription, showed off his next game, which is called Pony Island 2 Panda Circus.
Is there a Pony Island 1?
I don't think so. I think they
Who
just
knows?
came up with something
Who
random.
knows?
Okay.
But it looks
It's Daniel Mullins. Who
I
knows?
watched the trailer. I still don't know what's going on. It looks weird and creepy. I mean, that's what Inscription apparently was. So, more
Description
power
was
to him.
weird. Yeah, but it still had gameplay that I liked. That card game
Yeah.
looked really
Well,
interesting.
This looks like it'll probably be all over the place as well with whatever's going on.
Yeah, I might not pay attention to this one, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Um,
If it's anything like Inscription, we are in for a treat. So
Yep.
Well, again, the sell for me for Inscription was the card game too. So
oh, very very addictive. Yeah.
if this is a card
Yes.
game again, then yeah, okay.
A game called Usual Jane. I don't know who actually is making this one. It's another indie game, supernatural action adventure kind of style game.
Usual
Looked really
Jane or
interesting.
June?
Usual June. That's my bad. I read that wrong.
That's all right.
He's got the letter A on his mind from Alan Wake. when
Exactly.
Exactly.
Too much A.
But it is coming sometime in 2025. The
What is
follow
it?
up, it's a supernatural looking action adventure game. Usual
Okay.
June. Yep.
Yeah, that one I just saw a glimpse of because I was
Looks like
fighting
a- yeah.
Xbox and Discord.
I'm just
so-
it. Yeah, it's like it looks interesting. It has an interesting art style that they're going with and whatnot. It's one of those that could be good.
Okay.
The people who did Case of the Golden Idol are following up with Rise of the Golden Idol, which I've heard that Case of the Golden Idol is awesome. Like I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. So, is good enough to get a sequel. Not every game, especially indie game, gets that chance.
Okay.
This one looks really neat. It's a EA original. And
Okay.
I believe the
That's my
guy who
attention.
voiced Bayek from Assassin's Creed Origins is actually a part of this game. Not
Oh.
just in terms of being an actual actor in it, but he is actually basing a lot of this, I believe, on some of his the childhood folk tales, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know if that's the truth. That's what I think I heard. But his father had passed away, and he's honoring him in this game. And it's called Tales of Kenzera Zhao, and that one actually comes out soonish. It's April 23rd of 2024. That one looks really stylish. It's a really stylish side scroller, 2D side scroller, and it looks super fast. I think that's probably the neatest thing about it is looks like a lot of abilities, a lot of fast movement, but it looks like it requires a lot of precision too, because I saw one spot where there was this dash into this area where like you got spikes going up and down, and he had to stop like on a dime. So it looks like it's not just go fast as you can, it's also going to require a lot of precision to that one.
Okay.
So looks neat. Black Myth Wukong looking crazy as always. That was a beautiful trailer. Everything that they showed in that trailer. It is not my thing. I think it's supposedly a Souls-like-ish kind of game, and those just don't fit my playstyle, but it's coming out August 20th, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited. It is a next-gen exclusive, Xbox Series X and S, as well as PS5 and PC.
Okay.
I know a lot of people will be excited about that. Former Payday developer, they revealed Den of Wolves, which looks really cool. We actually have a write-up on Gaming Trend that just dropped for that. Ron got to go and preview this game. So they're back to... It's inspired by their Payday roots, but there's a lot of kind of cyberpunkish kind of feel to it, being this cooperative heist game. So all I know is the trailer looked real cool. Like I'm very much looking forward to seeing what comes of this game. After,
Yeah, I remember
like,
Ron was
trailer.
talking about how you're not heisting banks, I guess. You are heisting. I don't even know if that's a phrase, but you are trying to take stuff from corporations. So in this cyberpunk kind of environment.
So sounds like it'll be pretty cool. I don't know if you remember, Anthony, if you played this one, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
I have it, and I have not played it. Well, no, I've played it a very little bit.
So you should wait because they are remaking it. It is coming out in February on next-gen consoles.
Nice.
So
All right.
I know my dad said it was a very emotional game because he played it through, and it really got him. And yeah, Joseph Ferris trying to make us cry. And he's very good at doing it. He does a very good job with all the stuff he touches. So
Yeah,
everything he
that's
makes is
good.
unique. Yeah.
It'll put it back in the conversation. It'll give me a reason to really delve into it.
Yep. We got another look at Hellblade 2. Thankfully, actually saw some gameplay.
Yeah,
Oh.
mixed in.
Not like this game hasn't been announced since 2019.
Yeah.
The only thing that was disappointing for me, like, love the look of the game. Looks great. All they did was throw 2024. I really thought we were
Not
going to
even
get
a
some
window.
form of date. Like, that we didn't get a window. We didn't get anything. So it's just, I get these delays, and I get that they're not some 100+ studio, like person studio. But it's like, man, it took us this long just to get gameplay. I thought we were going to get a release date with it, especially with Phil Spencer saying it's not that far away, like even almost hinting at us possibly getting a date, and we didn't get it. So
Question is definition of far.
yeah,
You know,
I mean,
so,
we did just watch how long it took to get Starfield, so it's less than 2 years. Visions of Mana, we saw that reveal from Square Enix, a new
so
Mana
it'd be a
game,
Noah
Oh,
game.
Mana game.
another Noah game. Yeah,
Okay.
looked really
I like the Mana.
stylish. Very much that it belonged in 2024, whenever it's going to come out.
Okay.
Nice to see Square.
All right.
This was one that I'm very interested in seeing because I didn't know this until now, looking at like what they actually said. It's actually a revival of a canceled game from the early 2000s. Had a very crisp looking trailer, Jurassic Park Survival.
What?
It is actually
Yeah.
an action adventure game. Like
But
really?
it looked.
I thought it was just like going to be a builder or something, like just a trailer for the builder that was
Yeah.
really cool. But that looks cool. Like
They kind of
Okay.
like recreated a bunch of scenes from the movies too, which
Yeah.
was really kind of cool. With I'm assuming who will be the main character of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and
really
I know
excited.
it's CG. No, it's CG. That was an
But-
impressive trailer.
Yeah,
Like that's one of
Uh,
the best CG trailers I've seen. Like in
Yeah.
all honesty.
I saw dinosaurs and I'm on board. So
You and a
Yeah.
lot of other people. Yeah.
Her facial expressions, the main character and everything, like it was just like almost photorealistic. They had it that
Yep.
well. done.
really good mocap. Really
Yep.
good mocap.
Crazy enough, Dead by Daylight showed up. Not necessarily crazy in that it's how they showed up. Dead by Daylight is Dead by Daylight. It's getting a spin-off game from Supermassive Games. It is a narrative game from the people who brought us the Dark Pictures.
Interesting.
They're going into the Dead by Daylight universe and making a story-based game. So
And
just
this one's
like-
single player, right?
yeah, it's one of those neat things of, there's matches made in heaven. That's a match made in heaven because Supermassive, they know how
Yeah.
to do those
Yeah,
horror
you're right.
games. And Dead by Daylight is the perfect like subject to use for them to use. Something definitely I have to give credit to this year. We had a lot of original announcements. Like it wasn't a ton of just sequels being announced. We saw a lot of original games, a lot of original IP. So that was really, really cool. I bet I'm sure Anthony will be excited for this one. There's a game called No Rest for the Wicked. It's actually made by the Ori developer, Moon Studios.
Oh, Moon Studios. Yeah.
And geez, this thing was like, it looked kind of like Diablo a bit.
Oh, it's an ARPG?
Like, I don't know if that's it. It was just like actually, yes, it's Moon Studios take on a Diablo-like ARPG. That's actually what it says in this
Ooh.
description.
Oh,
Creepy
okay.
looking, dude.
He's like, oh,
Like
Oh,
they
is
they
it
had
creepy?
like, oh, we were watching
yeah,
it, like all of a
very.
sudden this one creature like had it like opened up its like face and like a like more humanoid like
Oh,
part of it
okay.
came out and is weird, man.
David went from, hey, this looks really cool to that's terrifying in like 2 seconds.
Like, it took 2 seconds, man. That one spot. Yeah, you'll have to watch it. I was like, I know you like Moon Studios, and
And I like
they're
ARPGs.
as I say, if they're taking on like one of your favorite things there,
I'm
then
in. Yeah, Ori is great. I actually have not finished either of the Ori games, but
one
every
of
time
my
I play them, they are
buddies,
fantastic.
one of my buddies can't play it without the second one without crying. I'm like, dude, stop playing it.
It's so good.
Fortnite is actually getting so I don't know if we haven't all been around for it, but Fortnite dropped a bunch of video games into their game. Like it's becoming
Yep.
Roblox like in the terms of, but with huge sponsored content. We had
Yeah.
one of the ads was there's a Fortnite game coming that is essentially a Minecraft game of Lego in Fortnite.
Oh, yeah, Lego Fortnite. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
that's essentially what Lego
survival-
Fortnite
yeah.
is like it's literally a building game.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's literally like Minecraft. Like that's the easiest way to put it is what it is in Fortnite.
I
It's
wonder
not
how
just
that's gonna
Fortnite with
do.
Legos. It's
It's
probably
like
gonna
Lego
do
is
fantastic.
super popular, but
Yeah.
Minecraft is like popular in the digital space, right? Like kids play Minecraft on the TV and then they go play Legos. So that's gonna be interesting.
People play the heck out of Lego games though, so like it'll draw them in.
Yeah, I guess.
they had-
Yeah.
They have
And
that.
it's also
Harmonix
free.
has it's free. Harmonix is releasing a rhythm game inside Fortnite
Wait, what?
Yeah.
featuring songs from Lady Gaga, The Weeknd. Like I
Oh
don't know
my
how
goodness.
it works.
I didn't
I'm
know
looking
about
forward to
that.
messing around with it. And then they announced today, which it's been shown off, coming out tomorrow is Fortnite Rocket Racing, which is the
Oh my gosh.
Rocket League people. They made a racing game.
Psyonix did this?
They made a racing game.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
they
an
made a racing
actual.
game.
It's an actual racing game.
Oh, I'm in.
Yep.
Okay. You have got me
Yeah,
a reason
like,
to re-download
They're
Fortnite.
turning
Like,
Fortnite into, like you said, like
it's-
a hub for games within a game, and it's
Yep.
free.
Like it's
Yeah.
insane.
I wouldn't expect a actual developer to do something like
Well,
this.
Well, Epic owns Psionic and Harmonix.
Oh, they do. That's right. You're right. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So it's easier obviously when you own them, but it's cool
true.
that you're not
Very
just
easy.
it's cool that they're not either being limited to the game they're already making or limited to being stuck as a support studio for Fortnite. Like
Mhm.
they're actually building a creation that is in a full
Yeah.
release. It's just a part of Fortnite.
Right.
Like so that's
Yeah.
just cool that they're enabling people to make these games.
And this is
using
coming out
Using
tomorrow.
Fortnite. Yep. Releases tomorrow. And
I
Lego's
told
already in the
myself
game.
I was going to play 30 games this year.
Bro,
I have
it's just
met that.
impossible at this point.
And I'm not done yet. I thought I would be
We're
done
gonna
by
have to
about
play.
30.
We're gonna
I'm
have to
gonna
play
hit, like,
30 games
36.
just inside Fortnite at this
Oh
point.
my
Like,
gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I'm just like I'm
The finals dropped. Shadow dropped.
I just installed that really quick because
Yeah, I
yeah.
need to install that
they
right
they
now
just
as we're
shadow
talking.
dropped Final Fantasy Ever Crisis onto Steam as well.
Oh my gosh.
Like which is it's more mobile, it's more mobily, but I,
I
hear
know,
that it
but
looks
still.
great. I hear it looks
Yeah.
great on Steam, like the having a PC version, and I'm like, crap.
Good lord. What? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
2023.
Oh,
will
and
not
the
end.
game. So
which I'm fine.
the Fortnite Festival, which is the Harmonix thing, it actually comes out Saturday. By the way, just to
What
let
is
you know.
the? Oh, the rhythm.
Yeah,
game?
Lego released yesterday. Lego released technically today.
Okay.
Rocket League hits tomorrow. Rocket Racing hits tomorrow, and then Fortnite hits the next day. Like, geez,
The
it's
harmonic-
just
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, this is nuts. Okay.
Yeah. Dragon
Do you
Ball.
review that? How do you like? Do you do you review Rocket Racing or do like? I don't know how that works
I
now.
don't know.
Like, does that
there will
become
be
part
somebody
of the games
review
that I
it.
play? Yeah, I
Like,
don't know.
I know we've talked about this so many times. We just kind of talked about it with the old Game Awards and stuff. Fortnite has done so much for this industry. Like, because Harmonix could have just straight up died. Like,
Yeah,
and we-
no,
and
for
even
sure.
though, yes, they're not making Rock Band specifically, we're still getting something from them.
Mhm.
Like, it's just so cool to see all this being done. Like, it's just great. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, a new Budokai Tenkaichi game, is coming.
Why is Sparking Zero? What kind of name is that?
I actually thought it was Sparkling Zero. And I'm like a drink.
What? like,
Like what?
Like
we
a
talking
local-
about?
Sparkling
Roy?
zero calorie water.
yeah. Like,
Is that how they get their
crossover
powers,
event.
or like, I
Yeah,
need
is there
to be
like a
told.
current Dragon Ball anime that's happening that has anything to do with something called Sparking
knows?
Zero?
We all know
Yeah.
that Dragon Ball sells, so like it's got its
I know, but
niche that
Sparking
everybody
Zero, that's a
Yeah.
weird name. Okay.
very. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. It's actually the next game from the Life is Strange creators.
Oh, okay.
It looks kind of like it's got maybe some. I
Don't
don't. I
nod,
can't
right?
tell if
Yeah,
it's
just don't nod.
yes. I can't tell if it's like they discover like this crash out of like aliens. If it's like a more of a Stranger Things kind of style thing, like it kind of gave off a little bit of Stranger Things vibes. But then they had the very end of the trailer. It jumped like quite a few years into the future. So it almost seems like they're going to have a lot of time passing compared to, I don't think the old other games from Life is Strange have really done that. Like I know there have been time jumps, but I don't know that it's been like years, like decades. I feel like I
Sure.
remember.
Is this a
so-
narrative-based game? Like in terms of like Life is Strange style?
it's a Life is Strange game. Like
Okay.
everything you see
All right.
about it, like it looks like a Life is Strange game.
By the
I
way,
don't
if
think
you
it's
haven't played
tied to them.
Jusant, like try Jusant.
I want
good
to so
game.
bad. Another one of those
Good-
games that I just have not had 2 seconds
Yeah,
to do.
it's a good game.
Skull and Bones gets a release date. Biggest
Again,
surprise. They're probably
again.
going to delay it again, but
yeah. Well,
February
like,
16th, me hearties, yo ho, yo ho.
Game Awards with another release date.
I can only say land ho so many times.
like IGN put after half a dozen delays. I'm like, I feel like you had more. I feel like 6
Damn,
is
it
pretty
still
low.
may have another half a dozen.
Yeah, like well, let's not
Like,
count our
let's
chickens here.
Probably
you know?
internally, there's been a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, and I want it to come out. I would love if this game came out and was a just smash hit. I would love it.
It's not going to be a smash hit.
I
but
just-
it
it's
would
not
be,
going-
It would
it's
be
just
nice
not
if
going
it
to
was
be.
fun.
Yeah.
If it could just be fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
Rise of the Ronin actually got a release date. That's a PlayStation exclusive that is coming
Oh, I
to
remember
PS5.
that. Yeah.
Looks really cool. It kind of made me
It
think
does.
of like the Like a Dragon Ishin, but made by the Neo developers and Team Ninja. Like that's kind of the vibes that I
yeah.
kind of got off
Yeah.
of it.
Really, yeah,
Looks
really
looks like
cool.
it's a little with a little Ghost of Tsushima in there, where it's a little more. It's got its outlandishness, but it still is kind of grounded, I guess would be the way to put it. It looks really neat, and they chose a heck of a date. It's coming out on the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2.
Mm.
So it'll
Good
be
luck.
it'll be competing a little bit, but I think it looks really cool. And I'll be honest, at least for me, I would be choosing Rise of Ronin over Dragon Dogma 2 because that was one of those games just didn't click with me as much. Dragon's Dogma. So, but of course, Breath of the Wild didn't, and I enjoyed the sequel. So, could be one of those.
Yeah, there you go.
In any case, we got some great games coming in March already. We've already got a bunch in January and February, and now March is starting to fill up already. There was the first Berserker Kazan reveal. I don't really know a lot of the whole Berserker kind of stuff, so I can't
Yeah,
really
I was
say a
kind
lot
of lost
here.
on this one.
One of those I was lost. Looks interesting, but I don't know enough. Exoborn, that one actually looked really neat. It was it kind of looked like Ron mentioned the Tom Cruise movie The Edge of Tomorrow, that they were running around in those kind of mech suits. I kind of was thinking a little bit of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare with the Exo kind of idea. And it's this extraction shooter, an open world one that's in a post-apocalyptic US. So,
Okay.
looked interesting. Looked like it almost had a little bit of Metal Gear kind of outlandishness as a
Oh.
part of it. Not necessarily plays like, just kind of had some
So
of
is
that
that like
kind
a
of
sneaky
look.
game?
Just more like some of the style, should I say,
Got
kind of made me think that. The first Descendant, that game looks pretty, and the trailer looked pretty as well. It's got a summer 2024 release window, so it's finally finally getting that one ready. Which
Okay.
that one could be a lot of fun to play.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
I played the beta, and
Oh.
they got some work to do. But if they
Oh, did
can,
they?
fix a few things, I think they could have a pretty solid little game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's. Oh, here's hoping.
Yep.
Yep.
Mecha Break.
That's all.
I don't remember this one. It was a Gundam-y looking game, a
Never heard of it.
kind of trailer. Looked
Same.
looked interesting.
Who-
It may have
who's
been
making
playing
it?
during the ad break. I'm not sure. I do not see a name on this one. Taking
right.
a look here. Warhammer Space Marine 2 finally got a release date, and guess what? It is on the other half of 2024. It is September. It was supposed to be coming out in December. So man, that thing got a big delay.
Yeah.
I thought it was delayed more due to the window. Like I thought that was more of the reason, was just so much stuff being out, but I guess they were like, "Nuh-uh.
We need more."
We're just gonna take the time to get this right." And I really like the first one. It was very Gears of War-y with the whole way that it played and everything. And I know Ron spoke very highly of it in his preview. I'm happy to wait if you give us a good game. So Hoyoverse showed up again with Zenless Zone Zero.
Oh,
Another one of those, I don't know what it is. It comes out next year.
I've heard of it.
I think they have actually announced it at last year's Game Awards.
They might have been.
Or they announced
Maybe.
it at one of Keeley's events, I believe. But
Yeah,
people love
It's
those
a
games.
Hoyoverse.
It
Yep,
will
and
it will be played by a crap ton of people.
not me, because I'm not sinking my
Yep.
entire life savings into.
You don't need some
one
gotcha.
character.
Yeah,
No, no, I'll let the whales support their
Yeah.
company.
Let the whales do the work. You enjoy the game.
Yeah.
This one right here had a really interesting cinematic trailer, The Last Sentinel. I want to know more about this game. It's kind of this Japanese futuristic cyberpunk-ish kind of game.
That
And if I'm
one,
remembering right, it's an open. It's an open world game if I'm remembering right.
Yep, open world AAA is what it's being dubbed or titled. It's made by Lightspeed LA, which is a new studio. This is their first.
It's the Grand Theft Auto
project.
devs, isn't it? Like former.
Yeah,
Grand Theft
it's
Auto
Steve
devs?
C. Martin. He worked
Oh,
on the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead series, so he's leading it. We got mostly cinematics, but
It's a really cool.
I
looking
like the
trailer.
vibe. I love the vibe. So
Okay.
Sounds really good. As Dusk Falls is that coming to PS4 and PS5 in March.
Okay.
That one's getting ported over. Final Fantasy 16. They said there wasn't going to be DLC. There are not one but two coming. And guess
Wow.
what?
Oh yeah.
You can
that's
play
right.
one of them right now.
Oh, that's right. It did shadow drop.
That was again, like I said, we had a lot that was in our vicinity getting announced at the Game Awards. It was cool. It's really cool seeing, like, we had the start of the show and it was a couple, oh really, 2025, you're gonna really do that to us, and then they had a bunch of, oh crap, that's coming out this week. Like,
yep.
I had so much of a range of emotions with some of this. But yeah,
You can
Final
play it
Fantasy
now.
16 DLC, the Echoes of the Fallen, and then the Rising Tide comes out in spring. So it's still, again, close.
Yeah, it's not far.
But it's just cool to see that game getting more support. It's a great game. Can't wait to play more of it. And geez, how much Final Fantasy we gonna be playing, fam? It's like we played
A
16. We're gonna be playing Rebirth in February, playing the DLC right now, playing the DLC after Rebirth, probably.
A Final Fantasy
geez.
decade.
We are
All of-
eating good right
and
now.
And in the middle of all of it, you can play Final Fantasy 14 or Ever Crisis.
Lots to go around.
No Man's Sky people came out, and guess what?
Hello,
It wasn't just an update for No Man's Sky. They
No,
showed
it
off
wasn't.
their next new game, Light No Fire. I'll give him this. Everything looked really good. I didn't see a lot of over promising, which is good. He did.
Yeah, he definitely
Not
set
a lot of
expectations.
over.
Yeah,
Nah,
he let-
yeah.
He did a better
Mm.
job of letting the trailer show off the game. I'll at
He
least
did
give
a
him
better
that.
job of doing that.
Yep.
I don't think he tempered expectations that well.
But it's,
God, did you hear the
well,
lead up? He was
yeah.
talking about,
Yeah, make Earth.
Well, he's-
yeah,
Yeah.
what if we made Earth and you could, I was like, whoa, what are we talking about?
well, at
Yeah,
least he
but
didn't say
it's-
that we made Earth. You know, he said, "What if?" You
He
know?
was
Well,
borderline.
the thing
almost
is
saying
though,
that.
you could see the scale though when they were
The
doing
scale
flying on
looks
the dragons
insane.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the things he mentioned was instead of making video game mountains, making actual mountains.
That's what I'm saying.
And yeah. And
That's a
but the
lot.
thing is when I watch that trailer, I see that. Like compared to you didn't see all of that. When he brought things up in the No Man's Sky like marketing beat, a lot of it was stuff you couldn't quantify. Like, can I run into my friend? You can. It's a possibility. And it was just, it was a lot of
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. This was more quantifiable. Like when I was looking at when I saw the watchtower set, it didn't look pretty on the side of that mountain sitting there, but I could see the scale of, this watchtower is kind of tiny in scale to this mountain that it's on. Like I can see this being a lot bigger than it is. And
yeah, but this to me, it still felt like that Ratchet and Clank speak where it was like, oh, if you go through the portal, it loads immediately. It's like, oh, look how fast. It's like, no, it really wasn't that impressive. It was just great
Here's
marketing.
hoping
Yeah.
that he learned. They learned their lesson.
yeah.
I know. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's here's
In
hoping.
any case, it's a promising first showing, especially considering what you were able to show.
It
So we'll
does look
see.
interesting.
We'll see.
I
What
want
they
to
can come up
see.
with.
Yeah, I want to see more of it.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
Which is the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adding to all the things that we keep getting shadow dropped
Yep.
is the finals is up now. You can play it right now.
Yeah.
Season 1.
Embark's new competitive shooter is shadow dropped at the Game Awards. It's only available on PC for now, but it is available.
That's fine. Yeah. It's
For
totally
Noah.
fine.
I was like, come on, fam. But it's
Wait, I thought you played it.
former Battlefield developers.
No, I watched a lot of live streams though.
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched a lot of because the closed
played
beta
it
was PC only.
as an Xbox player. He played it. He watched a lot of live streams. I'm just joking.
Wow.
I'm just joking.
I held my little controller thinking that it was plugged in. you
Fam,
know,
I've already
like-
seen people call.
He's
I've
over there.
already seen Xbox accounts calling out Kojima's game as the next greatest thing ever. It's like, fam, we saw a couple of face screenshots.
Oh, you
Like-
know how this is how the internet works. You know this.
Oh yeah, it's great. Nah.
People see the Skyrim 6 logo and they go, "Oh my god, it's gotta be
Yep. Oh,
gaming's
yeah.
next."
Greatest thing ever. But I'm looking forward to messing around with the finals. I was a part of different betas and never actually had 2 seconds to play them. So it's nice that the game is available to play, so that when I
Yeah.
actually have a time to shove it into my schedule, I can try it. Our own Jackson Lusberg was part of the preview event for one of the new maps. He just dropped his preview tonight after the Game Awards, so you can go check stuff out for that. Sega, big announcement of some
What's Sega
different
doing?
things they had in development. They decided, let's get some sweet remakes going. Jet Set Radio's coming. Shinobi
Okay.
is coming. Golden Axe is coming. Streets of Rage is coming. Crazy Taxi is coming, and more.
Streets of
And they
Rage?
did show.
Yep,
They showed
Streets of
gameplay
Rage.
inside these. They showed gameplay inside this trailer.
I
like,
need
so-
to see this.
When they didn't give any information on when it's coming out, it was a montage trailer. But I'll say this: it all looked
It'll
really
be a
good.
collection.
I thought it was a collection. It's not. These are all
Yeah,
separate.
that's-
games.
Yeah, David and I thought like, are they doing like a rare replay
I thought
thing?
yeah,
No.
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
Rare
that'd be
replay. No,
dope,
this
yeah.
is an actual. This is an actual. Just their.
Still the
they
best
have new
collection
games.
in
Yeah.
video
Oh
game
yeah,
history.
fantastic collection.
Streets of Rage. Let's go.
I knew you'd. Yeah, I knew
Mhm.
you'd be excited there. Arcane Leon. We found out what they're up to now. They're making a game on Marvel's Blade.
Who's that? Oh, that's
The people who did Dishonored and Deathloop.
Thank you. I was like,
Yep.
it starts with a D and Deathloop.
They're
coming into
partnering
my
with Marvel
mind.
to bring Blade to life.
Oh,
I
interesting.
mean, Arcane and vampires, what could possibly go wrong?
A great
I mean-
comeback starts with a great deficit. We have to remember that.
No, I'm saying
We have to
again.
remember that.
Everyone's gonna look at the show and think all I'm doing is ragging on Xbox. I hope this goes so well. Like I really do, because I'll at least say this person. I've never been into Blade as a character, so it's a hard sell on me. This
Sure.
character's a hard sell on me.
All right,
that
Kane
said-
did do Deathloop. I'm
That
tripping.
said, Deathloop was great. Like I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
enjoyed
I
Deathloop.
forgot they did
So
Deathloop.
I
I'm
may have
thinking
not been the
Deathloop.
highest review of Deathloop, but Deathloop was awesome. So, here's hoping this goes well. They say you're going to be in Paris. I think it's a third person game.
Mhm.
That's something that
Single
kind
player,
of
yep.
makes. I'll admit that worries me a little bit because the last couple games have been first person, and it's not always a,
David,
like,
all you have to do is
perspective.
just take the camera out.
Oh yeah,
Duh.
that's all you have to do.
All you have to do.
It doesn't change gameplay at all.
No, not at all.
So I hope that I hope that shift is good for them in perspective.
Mhm.
Another it's not really a shadow drop, but out next week, and I'm losing
Yes.
Noah to it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
PlayStation showed up and dropped a free DLC expansion for God of War Ragnarok that comes out next week.
Free.
Free.
Not
It is
free to play.
It is if you own Ragnarok, obviously it's free DLC.
It is free to play if you own Ragnarok.
But
Well, you
here's
know
what
I
it
mean
is.
by
It's
free
it's
to play.
titled
Yeah,
Valhalla.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
out next week, and there are elements of roguelike in it.
That's weird.
So I'm very interested in. Apparently, PlayStation was like, let's not make live service games. Let's just make everything roguelites because Last of Us 2 is getting a roguelite. God of War Ragnarok's getting a roguelite. Like, it's really neat that we're seeing all these just, again, not only brand new ideas, but it's like, hey, let's just drop them within the next 7 days.
Noah, video games are back.
Video games are back, dude.
2023 was the
Video
resurrection of
games,
video
video
games.
like everything.
But yeah, you talk about things that
Everything.
make that
Except for the
just
studios.
that are
Yeah.
going to go so well together. You have, the roguelike elements, and then with God of War's incredible combat.
Yeah.
Like, match made in heaven. I can't wait.
Okay, what's next?
Also,
Uh,
we're almost done with all these. Hideo Kojima, of course, had to show up on
Oh
stage.
boy.
You know,
Oh,
his
boy.
best buddy Jeff. They even had like a WWE like reveal of Kojima. He came out from behind this like door that looked like the PT
a closed door.
Like
Oh, gosh.
with all this smoke coming out and everything like that. He came out and revealed that he actually they showed off a little reveal trailer, which was it wasn't really much. It was a couple of motion capture faces of people that are starring in his game. His game is
Okay.
titled OD, which stands for Overdose.
Oh dear Jesus.
It is a horror game for Xbox. They're using the Xbox's cloud technology to develop this game. It has been said it is more of a like movie/game project. Don't know what that means.
I have an idea.
Well, did you?
But he pulled in Jordan Peele to work on this with him.
Interesting.
He came.
Who also
like
came
the
out
WWE
from the door.
from behind the door.
It was
Like-
really funny. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, Kojima, this is gonna come out. You're either gonna look like a genius, or this is gonna be like, what is this? Like, that's gonna actually. That's actually that is actually what the. That is, I was about to say, that's what the perception's going to be, because Kojima, his games are always, this is the greatest thing ever. What the heck did you do? Like,
that's the
there is
thing.
no, he does not have an in between. Death Stranding was that way. People loved it or hated it. You either love or you hate Kojima's stuff. Like, that's just how it works. But you can't,
But the
you can't,
game
he always
is
advances
called-
whatever he touches.
OD.
Yep, literally
Like,
just OD.
I feel
overdose.
like he is fulfilling probably what some actual things that he.
Oh,
has gone
you
through.
guarantee that PT is also like what he's like working on, like that the ideas he had from there, because this is horror themed. Now this all makes sense though, that he was over at like a Breaking Bad, like one of the camper. He was like next to one of those, and he said, "I'm buying meth." It was just a joke on his, like, I guess on his page, like OD, like kind of.
Yeah,
He was kind of
he's
hinting at it, I
teasing.
guess.
Yeah.
Yep. Boy was teasing it, but we just didn't know it. And then finally, the last big reveal, we did get some updates on, like, for instance, Metaphor and Refantasio, the next Atlas game, as well as Persona. We did get some trailers for those. Last big announcement, Capcom did announce Monster Hunter Wilds, which is coming in 2025. I saw a post that was hilarious. Apparently, you could tell the stock exchange opened up, like, during all of this. Capcom's stock shot up. You could see the moment that they announced it. Then you saw it shoot down the moment 2025 popped up.
Really?
Yes.
It was
Like,
that
I think
fast.
I saw that actually happened. Like, people were like,
Wow.
buy, sell.
That's amazing.
So, but yeah, it's super. I mean, Monster Hunter is way bigger than I think most people realize.
No, it's huge,
that are watching.
especially in
Like, it's-
Japan.
World. Well,
World and
Rise
Rise sold
really
over 10
popular over
million
here.
units. Yeah, well, that was the thing. It was huge already in Japan and whatnot. It was locked to handhelds, and in the U.S. at least, people love handhelds. It's not a very. I don't want to say it's not a mainstream thing, because the Switch has made it
It's
that
not
way,
the
but
Game Boy anymore.
like
Like,
yeah,
handhelds
but
are not
now, but like before the Switch, that wasn't what you would main playing, and then Wilds came out for PS4 and Xbox One, or World, and it went crazy. So this game is going to sell ridiculous,
Mhm.
ridiculously when it comes to it. Got flying mounts, desert areas, and of course huge monsters. Can't not have huge monsters. But that is largely everything. Kudos to Jeff Keighley for like not having anybody rush the stage, or at least if they tried, we definitely
Yeah.
did not see it.
And props to him, he scooted around between.
There was one where he was way up on the one side and they switched to something and then switched back and it felt really quick. All of a sudden he's on the stage about to give away an award. It's like, what?
Like-
what did you do?
He
You
was
got a
standing.
scooter?
He was standing on like the side area where they do the
platform,
like,
yeah.
very quick run throughs, and did the thing with the Muppets, and then like it felt like 10 seconds gone by, and it cuts, and he's standing on his spot on the main stage. And we're like, did he sprint? Like, how did he
It's
get
crazy. It was
across
crazy.
the theater? So yeah,
Yeah.
great show though.
Yeah.
Really good
What's,
show.
what's
case, I
actually
know that-
happening is that everything is a green screen and the audience is there, and so he just walks from a different spot and just looks like.
That's probably that might have been. It's just like, how did he get that fast? He was scooting, man.
He's actually not moving at all. He's just
It's the
with
camera
screen.
angle.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
So,
right.
it was a really good show.
Yeah,
I
solid
enjoyed
show.
it. Of course,
Like
now,
you said, nothing,
to-
nothing like mind blowing. Like, oh my gosh, this reveal.
Yeah.
Internet
Grand
breaking.
Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, nothing like that. But overall, a really enjoyable show.
very.
Yeah, the hour and a half I got with it was fun. It
Looks
was
like
good.
the discourse has already started on socials about it. So,
Oh
well.
yeah. Oh, of course. Of course.
I'm already mad at somebody.
Let them
'cause
fight.
They said that Spider-Man 2 won 0 awards and it was nominated for 7. Somebody said honestly it was simply nominated for 7 too many, and those are fighting words. Because it didn't win. I get why it didn't win. Saying it didn't deserve nominations. Nah, fam.
Well, the people who say that stuff, I'm like,
Are
what
streaming
would you
Redfall.
replace
This
it?
this is somebody that I actually
7 people.
respect. I usually respect their opinion. Actually,
Respect whose opinion?
Usually,
Oh,
it's-
the person
it's-
who's saying it.
yeah.
Let's say it off the podcast. I want to know.
Yeah.
no, David,
okay.
throw some heat. Throw some. No,
I mean, it's Hogue Law. I mean, they posted it in front of everybody. They can be called.
Oh,
out.
Hogue. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He'd be saying some hot takes.
Yeah. But the problem
He
is,
like-
he's
he
followed
likes
by
his
a bunch of
RPGs.
Xboxers too, though. So like, that means they're gonna run with that. So it's like you just starting something. Ron admittedly, he just posted like he posted a meme. It said no game awards, and it's Spider-Man 2 and Starfield both clasping hands. I also want to do one that with the clasping hands that says 7, and on Spider-Man 2 it would be nominations. On Starfield would be minutes of loading.
Oh, goodness gracious. It doesn't
Also,
take that long,
Alan
though.
Wake gets New Game Plus next Monday. Yay!
and BG3's on Xbox now.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shadow
that
Drop.
dropped. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shadow
dude, it's
Drop.
like what the heck? I can't
That sure
keep
did
up.
Shadow Drop.
Well, and they even like shadow dropped the announcement for the New Game Plus for Alan Wake 2 because Sam did like that speech, and then that other guy was like, "Wait, you
Which
forgot to
that
tell
was-
him."
Yeah, that was Kyle. He is he was actually the game director.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, you said that's coming out next week, the new game plus. Yeah, that's
comes
not
out
a
next
Shadow
Monday.
Well, I just mean like
So
he like
What? No.
added
It's
it in,
just
like,
that it
hey,
was
hey,
all
you
of a
forgot.
sudden.
yeah.
Yeah.
like, hey, by the way, we forgot to say this like before we walk off stage.
But it has new story content is the thing. Like actual like lore, like there's actually new pages you can pick up, new TV things. Like it's really cool that I'm curious if this is going to be like the one thing they do or if they're going to keep on. I know they've got DLC, but like that's a really neat way to keep a game going.
All right.
Actually, yeah.
Sounds good. All right. That's it. We're done. We're done.
It's been a very long night.
It
That
has.
it
It
has.
has. Next week, it'll be the last podcast of the year. And we're going to drop our personal game of the years. That's what we're going to do for our final show of 2023. It's been a good year. It's been a good year.
It's been a insane year.
It has, yeah.
Holy
Good year for us podcasts. You know, mixed reaction year for the industry as a whole with everything that's been
yeah,
going
there's
on.
there's been some low points.
There's
but
been big low points, but good games still have come out. That's important. Hopefully 2024 will be even better for everybody in every way. So, but yeah, that's what we're doing. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Deuces.